Welcome back, guys. Another episode of Puck U. It's March 21st. Everyone's got their minds on March Madness, but over here, we're scoring W's on the ice. I'm Mike Burns, joined by Les Victory from Why Lose Sports. We're going to take you through a busy NHL schedule tonight. But first, let's check in with Les and get a recap for the community yesterday. How we doing today, brother?
We're doing good, Burnsy. We cashed the Bacon Parlay. All subscribers made some pretty good money yesterday. We had a 20x spot on that Bacon Parlay. It was the parlay of the week. We announced it. A lot of people jumped on board, and they already recovered their investment for the week, and they made even more of that, and they still got all week to do it. So it makes total sense to get into these packages. Tonight, though, we got a cherry picker, Burnsy. We're going big again for the third time, looking for the hat trick, the old natural hat trick with that cherry picker. Unfortunately, last night, Burnsy, the ladder did not work for us. Marc-Andre Fleury decided to not stop anything, and the Minnesota defense opted to score more goals on their own net than fucking they have all year on the offense. So it was just one of those nights for Minnesota. It was a tough spot to pick. I mentioned that earlier on the ladder bet, that it was tough to find something that jumped off the page. You know, LA posts a 6 spot, 6-0 win. I didn't see it coming, but the good news is we only lost $10 and we get to start over. It's way better to lose on day 2 than do day 9, right?
Oh, that would kill you.
We're going to get a loss, get it out of the way. Let's start back over. And that all will be coming out in another video in a little bit. It'll be posted around 5:30, 6 o'clock with the ladder update. And who are we liking?
Well, I'll tell you who we were liking last night, man. You know, made a couple bucks off a Logan Stankoven ATG in the Dallas game. He was at plus 265, gave that out on here. You gave out the Austin Matthews ATG. He got that within 15 seconds of the game. I liked Ovi, getting them on the spreadsheet. I actually put those bastards together and got them both parlayed at 310.
Ooh,
so,
sneaky.
Not too bad. Sneaky Burns. That's right, buddy.
And just for the record, I don't know if you noticed, but if you go back and listen to the podcast yesterday, I think I was like, well, that Dallas game, I could see it being like a 4-1 or 5-2 kind of finish.
What was the end?
I didn't even realize it. I had one of the followers message me. He was like, hey, man, you guessed it right. I don't know if you noticed, but Dallas just won 5-2, and you said it was going to be 5-2. I was hoping that somebody put a correct score bet on that. 5-2 Burnsy, what would that pay? That's got to be
that's like
plus 800, 900, maybe. I don't know. Like, it's not a 3-2, not the 4-3 one, a 5-2 pick. That would have paid huge. Unfortunately, I don't think anybody listens to us because nobody did bet it, but that's okay. That's okay. There'll be more opportunities to come.
Well, we got some opportunities tonight. We're going to be looking at 3 games. We got the Isles in Motown against the shitbag Wings. Isles opening up here at plus 100. The Wings home favorites at minus 120. Over under set at 6.5 here. But we got some steam moving the Isles way. The line is looking more now like minus 115 the Isles, minus 105 for the Wings. So turning more into a pick 'em. Maybe the Islanders have a little bit of the edge. Now I got issues with both these teams, to be honest with you, man. I mean, it seems like neither one of them wants to actually make a push and make it to a playoff spot. We'll start with the Isles. These guys look like they were just humming on all cylinders. They were scoring big. They were winning 6 in a row. But then all of a sudden, they dropped the last 5, and their scoring is dried up like a nun's cunt here, man. They average 1.2 goals in the last 5 games, and they've been outscored 20-6. I mean, this is supposed to be that bubble team, right? With Patty Waugh behind the bench, you know, pushing the boys. Let's go, let's go. The only one that I've seen with any push lately has been Bo Horvat. I mean, he's got 3 goals and an assist over this stretch. Where the fuck is Matty Barzal been?
I don't know. There's a lot of question marks with this Islanders team, and I know Patrick Waugh, being arguably one of the best goalies to ever strap on the leather pads, that he's got question marks in net. there was people saying that Sorokin was going to be one of the best goalies in the world at the start of the season. And I kind of, well, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that. I don't think that's a pretty bold statement, but a lot of people were saying it, Bernsey, and it just hasn't happened. And to be a good hockey team, it's got to start from the goaltending. Ask any team in the NHL that has had goaltending issues this year if they're making it the playoffs. Notice the teams that are in the playoffs, they didn't have goaltending issues. And New York has goaltending issues. They're letting in a lot of goals. Like, they don't even have a 900 save percentage over the last 5. They haven't won a game. They're averaging almost 3.5 goals against. It's just not good hockey. Now, not to say that Detroit's been any fucking better, because they haven't. Maybe, 3.14 goals against instead of 3.5. At the end of the day, both these teams, it's point night when these teams play against them, because they can't keep the puck out of their net.
I mean, the Isles have let in 20 goals in the last 5 games. I mean, it's just the wheels have almost fallen off on Long Island. Now, I mean, this shitbag Detroit team, they've got 2 wins in their last 10, right? They were holding the last playoff spot, and they said, who wants it? Who wants it? Anybody can have it. I don't want it. They've allowed 41 goals while only scoring 23 in the last 10. I mean, where the fuck is Dylan Larkin already? Larkin goes down on injury, and this team just absolutely fucking explodes.
The problem is when they picked up Patrick Kane, I said, you know what? That's a good pickup for Detroit. He'll might be able to be close to a point a game kind of guy. He's getting in the end of his career. He's still excellent. I mean, he pulled through big for the Wings in that comeback win against Columbus. Thank
God it's against fucking Columbus.
Oh man. Well, I mean, Columbus is really good at coming out firing right off the hop, and then they kind of fade away as the game goes on. But I was looking at that game, and Patty Kane, he had, I think, 3 points at that game. Yeah, he had 1 goal, the game winner, and two apples. Like, is the Detroit Red Wings really going to lean on this old Patrick Kane to carry their offense? Like, I thought he would be a big help to it, but I didn't think he was going to be it. You know what I mean?
Well, you want to put out a missing persons call for Matty Barzal, you're going to have to put one out for Alex DeBrincat. I mean, he's got 2 assists this entire fucking month.
One of them was the last game in the OT.
Oh, so maybe he's turning it around.
Floodgates are open. Monkey off my back for the apples.
I mean, Kane's doing everything that I think you expected Kane to kind of do. I mean, he's got 7 points in 5 straight games. I mean, Lucas Raymond's been playing okay. He's got 8 points in his last 5 games. I mean, but, Detroit, I mean, listen, we talked about them, several times this year of just being a metrics anomaly, right? And they just somehow they don't put any fucking pressure. It's the same old fucking story, but none of it's changed, man. And I don't know if bringing Larkin back into the lineup is actually going to do that. I don't have Detroit making playoffs at all.
I don't have either of these teams making the playoffs. Just when push comes to shove, none of these teams have rose up to the occasion. Look at Nashville. If I would have told you in January that Nashville is making the playoffs, I don't know, man. Like, they're not anything special. They rose up to the occasion. They got the wins when they needed to get them. These 2 teams needed to get hot right now, and they just didn't. Isles have dropped 5 in a row. You're trying,
the worst time ever
for your life, and you lose to Buffalo, you lose to Ottawa, you lose to LA. You don't score any goals. Like, what the fuck is going on over there? Like, you can't blame the coaching. He hasn't had a chance. He's 20 games. You already got the lineup. Here it is. Go fix it. Like, that can't be done over a month or 2 months or even half a season. That's something that takes years. That's why coachings don't change often, because it's such a big transition for players and the teams. So I don't know. I can't see Isles getting it in. I really want to put money on this game, Bernsey, but I don't. Do we flip a coin? Heads is Detroit and tails is Islanders. Like, this could be like a 6-5 kind of game again. And Islanders have definitely played better than Detroit head to head. They've won 3 out of 4, But all these games, the past couple especially, ended up being these high-scoring shootouts because of poor goaltending on both sides.
I don't think this is going to be a 2-1, a game at all. I think that this is the type of game that the Isles need to figure out their offense. You got to have Matty Barzal on that score sheet. I mean, like I said about, Kane, and I said about Raymond, I mean, they're on the same power play together, and the Isles penalty kill is fucking abysmal. So if you want to make some money on here, put Kane and Raymond together, parlay that guy out, for any time points. I mean, I don't know where else to really go with this. It's almost like neither one of these teams want to fucking do anything.
If I had to put money on it, Bernsey, I would be playing a very, very small amount on the Islanders. I feel like they're going to take care of business in Detroit. They're due. They can't lose every game. They have success against Detroit. Yeah, okay, great. You made a comeback win against fucking Columbus at home when you should be winning those games anyway. So, maybe that's going to give Detroit a little bit of boost. But at the end of the day, there's still no Larkin. There's still goaltending issues. So I think the Islanders get it right here.
I mean, who are you going to put? You're going to put Sorokin up against Reimer, and you're going to bet on Reimer? I don't care how bad Sorokin has been.
Yeah.
Sorokin's winning that. 9 out of 10.
He should be.
On two desperate, I don't know. I see the Islanders coming away with the victory, but I think it's going to be a fucking ugly one. It's either going to be a barn burner, or everyone's going to get fucking hurt and the stadium's going to explode. But the game that I'm watching tonight, I'm watching Nashville and I'm watching Florida. The Caps opened up here as heavy favorites. Kind of surprising. Heavy favorites at 205, but the money is moving Nashville's way now. Now the Cats are down to minus 180. Nashville at plus 150. Over under at 6 on the nose. Listen, Nashville's been probably the hottest team in the NHL. I mean, they're 8-0-2 in their last 10. They're scoring 4.3 goals per game while allowing just 1.9. I mean, this month Nashville's this month they have the highest rated offense and the third best defense, right? I don't see this team as just a flash in a pan. And you want to talk about dynamic duos for getting on the score sheet. There's nobody else right now. I mean, minus maybe Nathan and McJesus. That's more automatic than Forsberg and Yossi. So, I mean, I think Nashville can come in here and make some noise. And, the Cats have been struggling a little bit. But one thing that I didn't like to see when I was looking at this matchup is when I went to the fucking starting goalies.
Kevin Lankinen. Who?
Why? I mean, this is a big fucking game here, is it not? Or am I just being selfish?
Well, I think Nashville is earned a little bit of a right. They've definitely made some space in the playoff race, and maybe Juice is just he's worn out. He's played a lot of hockey. He's played a lot of good hockey. They have understood that. Look at there's 12 games left, 13 games left. Mm-hmm. We only need to win 6 of those to be comfortably into a playoff spot. So why not give Juice the rest here against a really tough Florida Panthers team who could easily score? They can score. And also at the same time, it's a good measuring stick for the coaching staff to see what is this going to look like deep in the playoffs or even in round 1 if Juicy gets hurt. Who are we turning to? What a better time when you got 2 points that you could give. Why not throw him into the Cats? Here, go play with the Panthers, and we'll see who comes out ahead. We need to know what we have as a number 2, because if something happens to Juicy, Nashville needs to know that they can rely on Lankinen to come in and steal 1 or 2 games if possible. You got to give him some confidence, and the only way you can do that is by playing him and by playing him against good teams. So from a psychological way, that's the only reason why I can see this make sense. But what I don't understand is the money is still moving in on Nashville, even with Lankinen between the pipes. It's in
Yeah.
Florida. Look at Florida's record at home. Bobrovsky at home has been fucking unbelievable all season. I don't understand what I'm missing. Like, sure, Nashville's running hot, but so did Edmonton. All good things come to an end. Are they really going to go into Cat City and take 2 points with their backup in?
Well, listen, they got a good road record. I mean, they're 21-10-3, right? I mean, Lankinen, he's 9-4 on the season. This is only his second start in 10 games. He's got a 3.09 and an 8.97. I mean, maybe they're hoping for just, maybe they're going to try and outscore Bobrovsky. I don't know.
Okay.
A little bit of a tough spot there. I mean, right? Good luck with that one. But I mean,
there's not a lot of teams that have done that all year, but you want to try it? Okay, yeah, go ahead. The other interesting thing with Lankinen is he doesn't have a great record against Florida. Like, he's 4-3-2 in 9 games because he was with Chicago for quite some time when he got quite a few starts with them over the past 4 years or so. He's got a 3.11 save percentage and a 9.13. Well, out of all those Florida teams, this is the best one that he's going to face. Every year, this team gets better and better and better. So I don't know. I feel like this is going to be a letdown spot, and Nashville breaks their 14-game point streak or whatever it is. I feel like this isn't a good spot for Nashville, even though they have been playing good hockey, but you also need good goaltending, and you're going up against one of the best.
Well, with all that being said, I mean, maybe this is a puck drop kind of decision. Maybe that line keeps moving. You try and get a little bit more value on Florida as the minus gets smaller and smaller. One thing that I do have on the board for this game is a little prop parlay. I like Sammy Reinhart, right? He's had points in all but just 2 games this month. I mean, we talked about him before. Forsberg, he's only been held off the score sheet once in the last 12 games. And Yossi has only missed 2 in the last 12 games. You put all those guys together, you're going to walk out with a plus 234 odds. So that's where my money's going on this. And then keep an eye on the Cats pulling this victory out.
I don't mind the over saves on Bobrovsky either. I mean, I feel like Nashville's done a really good job of getting pucks to the net. Obviously, they're getting a lot of success in scoring, but I'm just pulling up what that line is here quick just to see what it's at for saves. 26.5. I can see Nashville putting 30 shots on Florida. I mean, they've done it several times in their last bit. Like they're putting up 40 against San Jose, 30 against Seattle, 38, 30, 49. Like the last 5 games, they're well over 30 shots on average. So
the last 10 games, they're averaging 34.1 per game.
Yeah, I don't see why that line won't hit, like unless they absolutely light up Bobrovsky, which would be an uncommon thing. It does happen. Look at Fleury last night, fucking guy. Anyway, but
2 different guys though, 2 totally different guys.
It is, but Bobrovsky has moments too. He's got bad games like anybody else, and this could be a tough spot for him too. He's facing a really good surging team out of the West, so it's going to be a good test, and it's going to be really good for the coaching staff and managers to see what kind of effort these teams can pull out when you're facing 2 hot teams, or the other team you're playing is a hot team.
All right. Now for the last game that we're going to feature, we got the Rangers in Boston, right? The Rangers are the road dogs here. Boston's caught some recent steam. They started at minus 130. Now they're minus 155, a low over under here at 5.5. I mean, this is a game that's going to kind of tell me who these 2 teams are, right? I'm not completely sold on the Rangers, and I am not completely sold on Boston as a top tier team here. Right, the Rangers got shit pumped against the Jets last game. They're going to want to respond here against the Boston team, who is now 7-2-1 in their last 10. Very quietly, 7-2-1. But I mean, this is kind of, I don't know. I can't put the Rangers in that top tier of Stanley Cup contenders yet. I mean, they don't dominate 5-on-5. They kind of just like scrap at and gut out wins. And a lot of their success has been the play of Shesterkin. But he's getting the night off tonight. We're going to see Johnny Quick, who's in the second start in the last 10 games.
Johnny Quick has had a lot of success against Boston over his career. And
30 years.
Yeah, seriously. And he's 12-6-1 with a 2.43 and a 9.18. Okay. It's an awkward spot because I didn't think he looked that great. And when you look back at these numbers and when you look at over his career, you got to factor in everything because obviously he's not the same goalie as he was in fucking 1988 when he got into the league, right? So you look at the last few games that he's played against Boston. He's let in 4 goals. He's let in 5 goals, 3 and 5. So he's averaging over 4 goals against the Bruins over his last few years because really they don't see each other that much. I mean, it's usually Shesterkin going in a game like that, right? So for whatever that's worth, he seems to struggle a little bit against Boston. I don't know if tonight's the night where he shuts the door because he can post a goose egg if he's on his game. There's nothing stopping him from shutting out the Bruins here.
Well, I mean, it's not like the Rangers are walking into this game, at full capacity. They're still out with Jacob Trouba. He's going to be returning back to the lineup in early April. And now Lindgren is hurt too. So, I mean, those are 2 big defensemen for him that they're going without. And over these last 10 games, and the reason why I really just don't believe in blue here is the Rangers have beaten all the teams that they're supposed to beat, right? But they've lost to all playoff contenders. Like I said, they got shit pumped by the Jets. You got beat up by Tampa Bay. Florida they lost to, and they lost to Toronto. Everybody else in their wins have all been outside the playoff picture. Now, Boston hasn't really played too much tough competition on their 7-2-1. They've won 3 in a row, but they're beating teams and they fucking should have, right? They're better. They're beating teams like Ottawa, Philadelphia, Montreal, and Pittsburgh. I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'm just in the minority here, but Boston just doesn't scare me.
If I had to pick one team to play against in the first round of the playoffs, it would probably be them. If I'm a wild card guy, we got the Bruins. Perfect. I'd much rather do the Bruins than the Hurricanes or Florida, right? So I agree. And the interesting thing here is Jeremy Swayman, he has struggled a little bit. They were thinking about shopping him earlier. That probably left a little bit of a sour taste in his mouth. And, we all saw what that did to Markstrom in Calgary when that whole thing went down with the Devils and stuff. He was playing lights out hockey and then he just got kind of cold. And Swayman kind of did the same thing. He hasn't been excellent over his last bit, but you know what he is excellent at? Is playing against the Rangers. He's played them 5 times now. He's 2-1-2 with a GAA of 1.58 and a 9.45 save percentage. He hasn't given up more than 2 goals against them since 2021. Sometimes you just play good against certain teams, Burnsy. It's just the way it goes.
Well, we'll see how it goes tonight. I mean, more to the point of Boston just not kind of scaring me, you look at their depth up the middle, their strength up the middle. I mean, you got Charlie Coyle, Morgan Geekie, and Pavel Zacha, right? Those are your top 3 centers, right? I mean, maybe that's enough to steal a game, but I don't see a series. I can see Boston on the back of Swayman stealing this one away from the Rangers because I don't think the Rangers are going to prove anything to me tonight. But, I mean, what I do have my eye on is, I love David Pastrnak tonight. He's been fucking Reds hot, right? He's going to pass 100 points tonight. He's got 99 right now. He's been held off the score sheet only two of the last 12 games. He's running a 6-game point streak. And with Zacha in the middle of him, if you pair those guys together for anytime points, you're looking at Pasta ATG and then Zacha over a half a point. I got those guys right there at plus 186.
Look at you. Those are some big
couple shekels, buddy.
I don't mind it, man. I don't mind it. And if you're really feeling optimistic, I don't mind the over in this game. I don't mind it. I feel like there's going to be goals scored against two goalies that, I mean, yes, he has a good record against the Rangers, but lately he's given up 2-3 goals a game. And I can see Boston scoring 2-3 goals. So, I kind of don't mind the over here either, Burnsy.
It's a low number, dude. It's a low number.
Especially with the big D's out for the Rangers. Those are top 2, top 4 guys. Like, who's coming into that spot? Is Rempe playing tonight? Do you know?
Yeah, Rempe's in the lineup.
Ooh.
Whoop the shit, that fucking goon. He don't scare me.
He scares me. He's about 1.5 feet taller than I am.
Take his legs out. Start at the knees.
Yeah, seriously. But
All
he's
right,
way uglier, though.
Oh. All right, guys, that's going to do it for us for today. We'll be back at you tomorrow. Don't forget to keep an eye on that cherry picker tonight. 99 for the week. If the cherry picker don't pick, you get the rest of the season for free. Keep an eye on us for more free picks on Telegram, YouTube, TikTok, X, especially Instagram. We're restarting that ladder challenge. How are we looking for tonight, Les?
Exactly that, Burnsy. We got the big cherry picker and the ladder challenge. I already got it put together. I just need to make the video and get it out to the members. It's free for everybody. We stress this, and I highly recommend you guys take some of these prop bets. Burnsy is dishing out. The guy is hot. He is hot right now, and he deserves all the credit because he focuses a lot more on the props than I do. I look at all the other shit, and that's all good, but look at these props. You go back in these podcasts and you listen to these prop bets. They are crushing 75% or better every fucking night.
Been all right. I'm liking
He's
the board.
right.
I'm seeing it well. All right, guys, y'all take care. Enjoy the hockey tonight. Enjoy the March Madness, whatever y'all are into. We'll catch you back over here tomorrow. For Les, I'm Burnsy. See y'all soon.